So what we're doing right now is putting on the rub rail, right? You got all the kinks out of it? Looking good? We're gonna go back on with the stainless? All right, perfect, perfect. That's why they're doing that. You got a big bend in that rail, and we have to heat that up to soften it up so it goes flat against the boat, and they can screw it in, and it could look like this. But that's because they rolled it up the opposite way, and it had a kink in it. So now we have to invest additional time to get that kink out so that it's straight and uniform with the boat. Again, something that could have been taken care of earlier by a little bit better preparation. Can you believe I'm paying for that? They're sitting on their ass holding a heat gun. Really? How is that efficient?
Dennis Foster has done every conceivable job within Foster's Yacht Services, and I mean everything. But Dennis can't be everywhere and do every single thing by himself. In order to be successful, the company has to scale to meet the demands of the clients and to achieve their revenue goals. Most small businesses have problems like this. It's called managing growth. Dennis would love nothing more than to clone himself and have an army of Dennis Fosters a dozen times over. Can you imagine that? Do you think the world is ready for more Dennis Fosters? But for better or for worse, that's just not possible. So he struggles with teaching his managers how to pick up the details before the problem occurs. These problems cost money. It's always better to be proactive rather than reactive. If you can solve these problems before they occur, the project is generally profitable. If you have to send guys back to fix the problem on the clock, you can't bill the client. This causes Dennis to lose money. Is he a micromanager?
I'm micromanaging everybody.
Or is he just an entrepreneur looking after his business? Keep watching and you decide. It's been 5 months since the arrival of the beautiful yacht, Vetted. As the Foster team edges closer to the finish line and Dennis Foster's patience is running thin.
All right, so we're gonna go to Vetted now. They're still on the rub rail, on the non-skid.
Vetted, my favorite project.
Let's see if these guys are really working right now. How we doing, guys? You're heating it up?
Yeah.
Yesterday they said something about the rub rail was put away and then bent all up.
Well, when
It was
restored,
wrapped.
It was wrapped, and they're having trouble.
But wrapped in an arc.
It was wrapped backwards.
But yeah,
So to get it to work the other way now, it's being troublesome.
yeah, it's not working.
Do we make a common practice to wrap it backwards?
We don't. Maybe we should have wrapped it. To be honest,
We should have
but
never rolled it.
We should have never rolled it.
The
But
person that rolled it doesn't work here anymore.
Be careful of the new metallic paint. Don't want any scratches on it or burn marks.
no burn marks.
All right, I don't want to have to take the whole thing out of your check.
You got it.
All right, looks pretty good here. When we get done with this, don't forget the caulk top and bottom.
Right.
Okay, looking good, man. You can see that. So this is where they blended in the line,
Yep.
and you need to wet sand and polish that too. Now look at the difference between these two, though. See it? I'm almost thinking I don't want to deliver this product like that. I want them to tape this off and spray this in high gloss jet black all grip with clear.
Okay.
That way all three of them look beautiful with my signature name on it.
Okay.
Same thing on the other side.
Okay.
It's nothing we did, but we need to improve that so that it matches the luster in the product we did. So when it, oh wow, look at that. Because I can tell you, as soon as the surveyor comes and the owner and they see this, they're not going to see the silver paint. They're going to be like, what the hell is that? And of course, who's responsible for that? Us.
Yeah.
Even though that's not in our contract to do it, we're going to sand this and I'm going to pay for it. So it looks brand new, like jet black all grip with clear, and it's going to match the clear and the luster of this paint job, and it's going to be beautiful. And that way, it doesn't draw your eye to it when you have a really good finished product. This boat we got by accident.
The facility that had it, it's a repair facility that works on a lot of these Sea Ray boats, and they couldn't handle it. Dennis gets the call from the surveyor, and you know, who could do this? Oh yeah, Foster could do this. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
We were not called originally to do the boat. This went to another shipyard. They were going to call the manufacturer, get some molds, build the parts, and then send them. And really, this other shipyard did not have the expertise to do that kind of a project and cut that whole thing off and make it look brand new like it came from the factory. This really came out nice. We had this boat cut off from where? Like right about here. This was completely missing. And now you have the whole thing, already rebuilt structure on the hull, rebuilt structure on the deck, the new rub rail, the new stainless, the new non-skid, the complete interior master. This thing came out looking really nice. And the silver The black and the red were a really fine choice of colors. I'm really happy with it. Looks good.
Does.
Most time when you call a manufacturer, they're a little bit hesitant in giving their drawings away because it's all, private information and trademarked information on the size of the boat, the hull of the boat, the style of the boat, so it doesn't get, recirculated around. I called up the manufacturer, I got to one of their plants. They had their drawings there from this particular model. They sent me the drawings. That's how we were able to recreate this whole boat, is by going off the drawings.
I had to get together with my carpenters and go through all the drawings so I could explain in detail, this is how it should look, this is what I want, this is how you're gonna do it. And we went step by step. What we did is we started with the hull. I actually built an outer frame on the hull, went inside the boat, and we glassed onto the wood that we had built. And we went back outside, removed the wood, and there was our hull. Once we were done with the hull, we did the opposite process on the deck upstairs. I actually made him build me a mold inside the boat, and we glassed on top of the mold, then we removed all the wood from the inside, and that gave me my deck. Once all the glass was completed, we had to go inside and rebuild all the furniture from scratch that was all destroyed.
And as you can imagine, not everything is on the drawings, or the measurements are exactly to the T. They're usually an inch or so off. So we built that as per manufacturer specs and drawings, and everything came out really, really, really good. We improvised on the hatches. I actually needed some other information that weren't on the drawings. So what we did is we went to another vessel that was for sale and looked at the same model, went on the inside, took some measurements and pictures, went on the outside, took some measurement and pictures, brought that information back here, and then applied that to the project that we have here. And that's why you get to see it is what it is today.
Now, it hasn't all been sunshine and rays, I'll be honest with you. We've had a few complications, especially with the non-skid, but it's just problems that we've attacked, we've solved, and we're getting to the point where we're almost done with this vessel. And probably by next week, we'll be putting her in the water and taking her on a nice sea trial, make sure everything's functioning, and give it back to the owner. And like I said, it looks like brand new. That it'll be a perfect business card, a floating business card. If there was a way we could put a big sign that says, Foster's did this, if somebody that saw the before and the after would be blown away.
Who is Juan Acosta? I don't know, I'm still trying to figure that out sometimes.
Juan Acosta, now he's an interesting guy.
He's Dennis's right hand. I like him very much.
Juan is a pretty ambitious person.
Juan Acosta is the caballero of Foster's Yacht Services.
My job here at Foster's Yacht Services is service manager. As service manager, I'm pretty much the general manager of the company. Every single person answers to me. I go around and make sure that everybody's working, the jobs get done correctly. I make sure that all the hours are billed correctly, all the materials got put on the proper jobs. So it's quite a bit. I'm pretty much Dennis's right-hand man.
Good guy, family guy. He's got his moments too. You know, we all got them.
Juan had worked at Rybovich as a running gear technician. He'd been in the Navy, so he's used to getting up early in the morning and having things to do, and he was a boiler room technician for a little while.
I was born in Cuba, in Havana. I actually left Cuba when I was 4. My earliest recollections was in the Mario boat lift here. My dad was an anti-communist prisoner. He did 3 years and then he did 7 years. He actually met my mother while he was in prison. Communist prisoners in Cuba were not fed at the time. Castro ordered that. The Cuban community could donate to feed a certain prisoner. So my mother picked my father and fed him for years. When he came out, they married, got my mother pregnant, got locked up again for being anti-Castro. During the Mario boat lift, I guess one of the guards felt bad for him. His paperwork got slipped into a lot of the other prisoners that were released. So they told him the day before, listen, grab your smallest children and your wife and go wait by the docks, you're going to America. We came here to Miami, and from Miami, my parents transferred to New Jersey. That's where I started kindergarten, and I was raised in New Jersey until I graduated high school. And I became a boiler technician in the Navy. I actually served during Enduring Freedom, which was the war right after 9/11. And as soon as I got out of the Navy, I was offered a job for New York Waterway. So I worked there until the guy lost his contract. Then I was offered a job to come here to Cape Canaveral. and I was looking for a better place to work at, and it just so happened that Dennis was looking for somebody, and it was a perfect match.
Well, now you know a little bit more about Juan Acosta and how he came to his place at the table at Foster's. But he still may have more on his plate than he's capable of managing. Will Juan find a way to step up to the plate and rise to the expectations Dennis has given him? Or will he crumble under the pressure? Will Dennis be undone by his own perfectionist ways? Or is this just the beginning of much worse things to come?